Here we are at Marshall Blade Camp 2017. Did a Porkman demo for everybody early on, and whenever you got pork, you got to make good use of it. So we thought we would give this thing a try. So you may have seen before, this is a Ginunting trainer that I designed for last year's camp. This is a live blade that is absolutely gorgeous. It was made by Damon Lusky of Alfa Knives. I've done a little bit of cutting with this, but not on anything fleshy yet. So we're going to take a quick look and see how it goes. So first cut I'm going to do on this, I'm just going to use the tip of this, not a whole lot of pressure, just show you what the Wharncliffe style tip does. You can see that no hi-ya moment there, didn't work super hard for that. Let me spin this around so Eric can see what we got. Down to the bone, easy.
Ooh, and juicy too.
Okay, yep. Juicy and drippy, nice. Awesome, thank you. Okay. If we look at this as far as penetration and thrusting, got a good view, sir?
Yes, sir.
Into the bone, you hit the wood. You can hear it hit the wood, okay? From this angle here, we'll give you a nice lateral cut here. So even if you're not perpendicular as far as your cut goes, we'll just take a look at this as far as being able to kind of contour a little bit and get a nice angular cut popping through this way. So you can see, you heard the pop on that. Just kind of open that up really nicely there. So again, you don't need a whole lot of power. It's just using the blade itself. Now, one of the interesting things, this has a true false edge. So false edge means a sharpened edge on the back. If it was unsharpened, it'd be a swedge. So you actually get to see kind of an interesting view of this from your perspective. This would be imagining somebody attacking me with a backhand strike, an angle 2 strike coming at this side of my body here. I may be checking this, and what I'd actually be doing if my weapon was low, I couldn't necessarily bring it into play with the primary edge without a whole lot of articulation. So what I'll do is I'll use the false edge instead, checking here and cutting up this way. So what you can see, set this down, is a really nice bite coming in from underneath. And again, no hi-ya moment, no extraordinary effort there as far as being able to make that work. It's just a matter of being able to move the blade from wherever it happens to be at that point in time. So one of the things we look at also in MBC is what we call a pressure cut. So obviously I have to be super careful, not let my hand drift up onto the sharp portion of the blade. So I'm just going to keep my hands here, just a little bit of pressure on a clean spot here, placing this and then dropping body weight. Again, you can see down to the bone, pretty bad day for whoever's on the receiving end of that. What the real advantage of this is, when you look at longer weapons, typically the farther the pressure gets away from your hand, the more the leverage of the weapon works against you. The curve counteracts that. So even though you start to lose that stability of your wrist, the curve continues to dump energy into the target. That's what allows it to cut with great force. Even little cuts, just with the tip like that, that was just a little flick, and you can see it doesn't take much to be able to cut. So we got a little bit of uncut meat here. One of the other interesting things about this, so far everything we've done has been a drawing cut or a chopping cut. Let's take a look at what's called a push cut. So if I place the blade here and drove that forward, you can see that it doesn't matter. As long as you're applying pressure and you're moving laterally along the edge, you're going to get a nice deep cut. So even if you controlled a limb and drove that forward, it still doesn't matter. This thing is devastating. Everything that I wanted this to be as far as a live blade when I designed the trainer, Damon has really brought into play and made it real in steel.